pop music is like riding the biggest Harley you've ever seen.
Oh, you're about to curse.
I was.
You were really about to curse.
I stopped my
You're about to
mother's
curse.
voice.
This is safe.
You're allowed to curse.
Space.
We'll see if I get chill enough to get there. If I let this hair that is someone else's, but it's mine for today. We'll see if I can really let it
Mine
down.
too. Welcome to the New York Times Popcast, your Miracles Happen of weekly culture chat. I'm John Caramanica, and I'm the critic.
I'm Joe Coscarelli, and I'm the reporter.
I'm Anne Hathaway, and I'm on Popcast.
That's right.
Can you believe it? Popcast's first ever Academy Award winner.
No.
Not the last.
No, definitely not the last, but definitely the first.
You haven't had an Academy Award winning musician on yet?
No.
No, shout out Ludwig, though. Ludwig, when you want to come on,
like
let us
Yes,
know.
we'll get a couple.
Yeah.
And a couple of these
Come on.
people on the wall will win Oscars someday.
No, I feel like there's Oscar energy in here.
Yes.
Well, certainly today.
Yes.
Everyone knows Anne Hathaway from something. It's true.
Wow.
Princess Diaries.
A princess? Shut up!
Brokeback Mountain. Devil Wears Prada. Interstellar. She's Catwoman in Dark Knight Rises. Your Oscar, aforementioned, for Les Mis. But 2026, undoubtedly the year of Anne Hathaway. And the summer of Anne is about to begin. You have 5 movies coming out this year.
Yeah, how about that?
5 films. That includes Devil Wears Prada 2, followed by Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. You have 2 more films coming out later this year, The End of Oak Street and Verity from Michael Showalter. But the reason you're here with us today, one of the reasons you're on Popcast, is that you're coming a little bit into our world as we come a little bit into your world. Mother Mary, you play a tortured veteran pop star staging a comeback show in search of her spark. She returns to a former collaborator, played by Michaela Cole, a fashion designer, and you sing, you dance, you cry.
So much crying.
So much crying. This is quite a bonkers movie, I want to say. Talk to us a little bit about finding the character of Mother Mary and where that began for you. Was that a research project or was that a project of imagination?
It wound up being both. I had an instinct about the character that I had from the first read. And so in terms of the performance aspect, the brokenness of her, everything related to the dialogue and acting, I had a really early kind of beat into her. Everything else was so much research, and all of the performance stuff wound up being a years-long process to learn how to be a pop star.
Talk to us about your pop star journey as a fan first. Like, who was the first pop star that caught your eye, and what path have you traveled since then in music?
Madonna.
Yeah.
Madonna, absolutely. Like Madonna was always there for me. You know, I was born in 1982, and so her music was just everywhere. And you just couldn't miss her. So I just remember like singing her songs all the time. And so I just loved her so much. And I didn't understand. I mean, I couldn't tell you why, but just now that I look back on it, the way she was able to craft this persona and the way she was able to change and the musicianship and the performer that she is, it was just really, really appealing to me. But I was a huge fan of Whitney Houston too. And so for me, like Madonna was like the greatest pop performer, but to me, like a real pop star was a vocalist like Whitney Houston, somebody who could just stop time with her voice.
Well, and Whitney has a special role in your career.
Yes, how about that?
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, Whitney Houston produced the first Princess Diaries with her partner, my wonderful friend Deborah Martin Chase. And so I got to meet Whitney Houston when I was 17 years old. And that was just wild. Total dream come true, Jersey Girls.
Given that your mom especially was an actress and a great singer in her own, was pop taboo either creatively or aesthetically? Was there some sense that like the theater, that's where serious art happens, but this other stuff on the radio, that's not the same.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very, very much so. Pop wasn't, especially now the way that I appreciate, pop wasn't rated in my house growing up. Like real singers did Broadway.
Yeah.
And so much of my kind of early musical exposure was theater based.
Yeah.
My older brother was super into rap. Then he got into straight edge hardcore. And so
Great
obviously,
pathway.
and I love my older brother. So obviously I was listening to that.
A real tri-state kid.
Absolutely.
Tell him to watch the show. We have a lot for him.
And then when I was in high school, that was when like the Pop Princesses happened, and TRL Live was huge, and so that was always my stop after school, was going home watching TRL Live. That was such an amazing music video era. And I felt like very confused because I knew that I loved Britney Spears so much, and Baby One More Time, I couldn't stop singing it or get it out of my head.
Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time.
But I had this voice of my parents in my head being like, but Stephen Sondheim is real music.
Where are the clouds?
That's real.
And when did you start to bridge that gap? Because you were also singing from a young age, performing on stage, being in musicals. When did you realize, like, oh, I can maybe start to do this other thing too? Or was it not until this film?
It was not until this film. I actually I actually did ask myself that question, just because I knew that I wanted to be an actress from a young age, but my mother being a performer in music theater, I kind of assessed my
Skill set.
my skill set. And I was like, okay, my mother is an amazing singer, and I'm a fine singer, but my mother has one of those stop time voices, and she's a wonderful musician as well, and she's just another level, and a level that I'm not at. And so I thought, okay, like I'm fine, but I don't really see me being able to like pay for groceries based on this skill. And then dance was something I would have loved to have done, but I just couldn't figure out why. I went to class all the time, and I just never progressed. All the girls around me, they would just get better and better and better, and I was just kind of stuck in one place. So I did it for like all through high school to just try to improve, but never happened. And so I decided to really focus on acting as a result, because I thought that was my best shot, and it was the thing I enjoyed the most, and it was the thing that I felt like I was doing.
And when you began to work with the director David Lowery on this film, he's directed Green Knight, Ghost Story, these very heady, sort of metaphysical, supernatural stories. But he also obviously wanted to ground this in the real world of pop spectacle and fandom. What kind of conversations were you having with him about the reference points here?
So working with David Lowery blew my mind in every possible direction. And one of my favorite things was that you meet David, and he's so obviously goth. Like, I mean,
I've seen the movies. I don't know the guy, but I've seen the movies.
Everything about him is so goth, and I mean, his nails are painted black, and like his T-shirt doesn't ever have a skull on it. Sorry, my grammar's a little slow coming today. I don't know what I just said.
Was
his T-shirt
correct.
doesn't never ever have.
We know.
Does it not ever have a skull?
Thank you
Something.
so
We're doing lots of double night.
Festooned with skulls. Some
Chrome
might say.
hearts
One
down.
could say, I
Could
wish I
say,
had.
yeah.
So David his T-shirts are just festooned with
That's
skulls,
right.
and
That's right.
and like every aspect of it. But he always wears something. Like he'll be wearing all black, and then he'll be wearing like beautiful purple running shoes.
Yeah.
So he has this total like dominant goth aesthetic, and then one glimmer of pop. And I thought it was so charming when I found out that he is a diehard Swiftie.
Okay.
And so that was, he had this crazy long playlist of all different types of music. And I mean, obscure artists that I'd never heard of, like PL. And, but then also, Lord's Greenlight. And Max Richter. And all of this, there's just this wild range of songs. And the playlist was meant to show kind of not necessarily what Mother Mary sounded like, but the feeling that her music could give you, and the feeling the movie was going to hopefully give you. And right dab in the middle of that playlist was Anti-Hero.
It's me. Hi.
And I just, that was my song that like got me into, because I always really, really liked Taylor, but that was the song where I was like, oh no, wait, she's taken hold of my brain.
Yeah.
And then I got like much deeper into her music. And then once you see it, you can't unsee it. You're just like, oh, she's a genius. Wow, this is amazing. And yeah, so David Lowery absolutely expanded my pop vocabulary, my pop appreciation, and I just immersed myself in the world of pop for about 4 years to take this movie on.
Do you now have a preferred Taylor era?
No. I think that they all speak to each other.
True.
I mean, not untrue. We have some
big-
episode of this show that we can
big
refer you
Swiftie,
to talk about.
big
it.
Swiftie podcast.
Yeah, very, very pro Swift
John and I
podcast.
actually were debating before the show: is Anne a reputation girly or a folklore girly? Because that's us.
Yeah, I'm a reputation girly. Joe is a folklore girly.
I have to say, like, I love both of those, but I'm late. I'm late.
Okay.
The Eras era.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
To have a retrospective like that at the age that she is, and to realize that, like, she had a vision
Yep.
that didn't exist in the world, and she literally made the space that she wanted for herself in the world. She made it happen for herself. And because she exists in a space that isn't typically seen or rewarded by the mainstream, her empire grew so vast, and people didn't see it until Eras, where she put it all together, and all of a sudden you realize that, I mean, she's her own economy. It's
totally.
Quite literally.
wild, and that her songs have more so than the soundtrack. I mean, it's like it's verse for people. It's like it's what guides people through their lives. I think it's amazing. Like the Swifties that I know who have been Swifties for, I mean, decades at this point.
Yep.
Moments of their life, her words rise unbidden to their mind. It's just like her words meet the moment for them, and they gave her they gave her their brains. And she rewards that again and again and again by valuing them. And I just think that's really beautiful.
One of the insane things about you making this movie, one of the many insane things about this movie.
It was just a funny choice of adjective.
Okay.
It was just a funny choice of adjective.
I didn't know if I need to say God bless you. I wasn't looking.
No. I mean, first
I'm
of all,
getting you- I'm
free to
getting
be
used-
blessed at any moment. But no, I just
You're just laughing at me.
laughing
saying
at Joe.
insane.
How long have you guys known each other?
Since I was a teenager.
Yeah, since Joe was in college.
Really?
I used to read his Tumblr when he was in college. Joe had a great Tumblr in
And
the mid 2000s.
John was writing in magazines and newspapers that brought me here. You know,
That's a beautiful story. You're so cute.
we're putting that in the sizzle, by the way. You saying that's a beautiful story. One of the insane things about this movie is you play a pop star.
One of the insane things.
That's what there's many. Is
We
there
have an
not many?
hour.
You played this role without knowing what the music sounded like.
Which I did not know until after we saw the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
That's startling. To me.
So eventually, songs by Taylor Swift collaborator Jack Antonoff, written in collaboration with Charli XCX. There's an FKA twigs song. We might hear from FKA twigs in a moment.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me.
You ended up with this whole sonic world, but when you first started playing the character, you had no idea what she would sound like. You knew what she meant to people. You knew what she had gone through. You had this backstory in your head. What were you imagining up there?
That's such a good question. Yeah, so there were 2 tracks. There was Burial.
This is your burial. This is your burial.
And there was a demo for a song called Holy Spirit.
Are you there? Are you mine? Do you feel holy? Are you real or divine?
I went in to see Jack in his recording studio. I got a text from Jack, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to come in and get a vibe?" And I was like, "What? What are you?"
What's a
I knew what a vibe was, but I was like, "Is this a technical Siri? What's a vibe?" I mean, I just like
rock?
well because like it's
Urban
just-
Dictionary. What's a vibe?
like I'd never considered vibe-based art before. Sure. You know, like for me, movie making comes from a very, very different place, and acting comes from a very different place. So I was like, get a vibe, and so I went in, and we just played, but it was very, very, very loose, and like I just kind of made these sounds that Jack laid into some of the tracks.
Like you're finding melodies kind of over.
Just literally trying to figure out what my voice sounds like. And to my horror and dismay, I realized I had no idea how to sing into a microphone. Because all of my training was on stage. You have a mic, and it's not anywhere near, your mouth. So there's so much projection involved, and pop music is the opposite.
Yep.
It's effortless power. Which is not really my thing. I'm like all about effort.
No.
Honey,
Come on.
you know me from something. and all the somethings I've been a part of, there's been a degree of effort
Of
there.
trying.
Yes, that's like
Yes.
it's how I've
Yes.
it's how I've built my life is by caring so much, and it's the only thing I really know how to do, really. And so so Jack's early notes to me were like, "Hey, can you sound more bored?" And then and I went to him and I was like, "Jack, I actually don't know how to do that.
Right.
Could you have another one?" And he goes, "Okay, can you just like give more heroin?"
Wow.
And I was like, "I have an imagination, so I'm gonna give that one a go."
Sure.
But it took so long for me to. It also and I'm sure you guys have experience with this. When you hear a demo, it's so far from what the final's going to be, and because I'd never gone through. It's a bit like when you're doing a movie and you see a raw cut. You don't know how to fill in the gaps. You don't know how to jump to the part where it's gone through all the layers and all the filters and all of the extra stuff, and so you just panic.
And you also kind of don't know which in that gap, how much of that is on you, how much of that is on Jack, how much of that is on someone who you haven't even met.
And also, I'm not the director.
Right.
So it's not like I can come in there and throw my weight around and say, this is exactly how I want it. I'm actually as far down on the totem pole in terms of the artistic direction and the sonic design for the character as there is. I mean, it's Jack and Charli and David, and they're really the ones having the conversation, and then I'm supposed to come in and execute it. But as we discovered throughout the process, like I need to immerse myself in it, and I need to have a stake in it in order for me to really kind of switch into gear. So anyway, so Jack set me up with a music producer by the name of Kook, and Kook and I went. Yeah.
I did one of the first profiles of Coscarelli like 15 years ago.
Magical human.
Incredible guy. Shout out Kook. Incredible.
Brought us Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I was in
Rihanna.
the studio with him and Justin Bieber on like the second Bieber album.
So I had 2 days with Kook to kind of try to figure out her vibe. And I was so scared that I was just going to like let everybody down, bore everybody, that I wasn't going to be able to do it. So I have this memory of like giving myself this cute little pep talk. I was going to go to the studio and I was like, okay, they know who you are. They know that you're an actress. They know all of these things. You're going to just go and have fun. Just go and have fun. And I pressed the elevator button. I just went, whoop, and my eyes just filled up with tears. And I was just so vulnerable. And for the first 10 minutes, I was kind of had like really gnarly energy. And then I just like thought to myself, I'm like, he doesn't know you. This is who he thinks you are. He thinks you're this way all the time. So what you need to do right now is get a grip and have some fun and figure this out, because if anybody's going to make you good, it's going to be him. So just like figure it out, Hathaway. So I, in a sense, got my shit together and started to play. And then we played all day in Burial, and like we just tried different things. So that approach was kind of really necessary in the beginning, was just trying things and not being afraid to fall on your face and understanding that Rome wasn't going to be built in a day.
I wonder about that style of vocalizing, especially like having been in the studio with Kook. I imagine the process was similar, where it's like you're hitting a line, and he's like, hit it this way, but a little bit more expansive. Hit it again, hit it 2 times in a row. Like sort of almost trying to denature your brain from the line to encourage a more earthy, grounded vocal performance.
To get me away.
To forget that you're singing the line, in a sense.
Yeah, I think. And he made me sound as cool as anybody could at that time. But but what the session revealed to me was how much work I had to do, because I didn't understand anything about placement. I had no breath control. Because also it was revealing a weakness in my singing, which was because I had learned in musical theater where I was used to belting and projecting, that I had like this break in my voice that I'd never really learned how to climb and how to work through. And that took several years to kind of learn how to undo.
Is pop music vocalization, in your mind, having gone through this process, inherently more vulnerable than musical theater vocalization? Because I take your point about standing on stage and kind of shouting to the back seats
Yeah.
and making sure that you're heard. But often that's at the cost of subtlety or nuance.
Absolutely. And it just taught me so much about sound and the emotionality of sound, and so much of pop music. I feel like musical theater is very lyrics based, and so it requires a greater degree of diction because you really don't want to lose a word at all. Right. And some of my favorite pop songs, I have no idea what anybody's saying, you know?
Yes.
I know it's not necessarily a pop song, but when Kurt Cobain is saying like "all in all is all we are," like
It doesn't. Yeah, it's
all
just.
in all is all.
And he sort of does it to the point of
Yeah.
abstraction.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of pop, is that it can go to those abstract places, and it kind of gets you to a state by almost seducing the sonic aspects of your brain. And musical theater is something else. It's just it's like I said, it's a different type of storytelling, but it's not immersive in that way. There's a presentational quality to it, and I kind of like when I've had to try to explain it to people, and what it felt like to me. It's like I was comfortable on a 10-speed bike. Like I knew how to work the gears on a 10-speed, and I felt pretty comfortable, and like my stamina was good for that. Pop music is like riding the biggest Harley you've ever seen.
You're about to curse.
I was about to curse. I stopped my
You're
mother's
about to curse.
voice.
This is safe.
You're allowed to curse.
It's a pro-cursing podcast.
It's a family newspaper, but a pro-cursing
pro-cursing
podcast.
Okay,
yeah.
well we'll see if I get chill enough to get there. If I
we're simply providing the space for you.
let this hair that is someone else's, but it's mine for today. We'll see if I can really let it
Mine
down.
too.
The way you're talking about recording the studio reminds me of some themes from the movie, which I think is very much about sort of deconstructing the idea of pop star as auteur, that this person is all-knowing and everything comes from them, and really it's the invisible labor of all these people around them from the beginnings of their career. In the case of Mother Mary, it's Sam, the Michaela Cole character, who built that persona with her. Like thinking about the role of pop star versus the role of actress, how do we consider pop stars differently than we consider actresses, even at your caliber or level of experience?
So, this project has encouraged me to think pretty deeply about that, having now sort of gotten to play in both spaces. And I just felt like when I finished this, I was like, wow, I am so not a pop star. Like, I really am. No. The way that I'm made, the way that what I love to do. What I love to do is share what I've gone through, share the secret parts of my soul. I love to do it through a filter. I love to do it through an avatar that I can privately, secretly relate to, and that I have an in with, like into their soul. But I don't have to ever talk about that, and I don't ever have to reveal that. With a pop star, the image that you're putting out is based on yourself, and so you are your own avatar. And I think that for some of the pop stars that I think are doing it better than anybody, like Sabrina Carpenter, for example, she is in complete mastery of all of it. You know, I don't think that anything goes onto that stage. I don't think that doesn't come from her mind. I think that, like Taylor Swift, I think it's all self-generated, and then she has other people that execute her
the
vision.
things. Yep.
Pink is another one that like her work is so personal to her. And yes, there's songwriters and collaborators and all of those things, but really, I feel like with pop stars, the buck stops with them.
Do you find, for you as a listener, knowing something about who those people are for real, the stories have truth value, does that enhance your ability to enjoy the music?
I find that more, I don't know. That's a really good question. The artist that I was drawn to before this movie, it was more people in the realm of like Bjork and Tori Amos, and I was interested in biographical details, but the music for me was just the
Paramount.
It's interesting that you frame it that way, because I feel like there's a parallel in Hollywood, which is some actors bring all of their baggage and all of all of your preconceived notions about them to every character. And especially over time, Tom Cruise. You love watching Tom Cruise in these movies because he's playing off of his real life persona. I feel like you in your career have been very careful with your real life and with the human, with Annie. And people maybe think they know you, but they don't have a ton to project onto you when they're seeing you in these iconic roles, unlike a pop star. Like, has that been conscious for you, keeping up that wall between who you are on screen and who you are at home?
So it's funny because I had this amazing thing happen to me right out the gate, which was I was in a classic movie that a generation pulled into their hearts and never let go of, and we're still in a relationship together almost 30 years later. And that film was The Princess Diaries. And so I don't think of like myself in iconic terms. Like I'm really like I think about myself the way I've always thought about myself, which is like I'm an actress. But one of the things that I have had to be aware of since I began was I was given this tremendous gift, which is, I've had legacy since my first film.
Right.
And I've been so lucky. I've been a part of these films that have offered people comfort for now what feels like it's going on generations.
Yeah.
And I've tried to do my best to respect and protect the legacy of that while also developing as an artist, while also just being a person who can walk down the street and be just very, very, very normal as I can.
I wonder, when you look back over the sort of macro arc, you talk about working with individual directors and interested in executing their vision, but I do see a couple of threads on the type of characters that you tend to be drawn to.
Tell me, I don't know that.
I mean, you do have your sort of Princess Diaries, which I just watched this weekend for the first time. I missed it when it came. I just watched it.
Did you watch it by yourself or with
I
someone?
watched it with my girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah,
Had
yeah.
she seen it before?
Yeah, it was huge for her. Huge for her. It was between Disney periods for me.
I understand. I completely understand that.
Had stopped watching it like as a young person, but hadn't quite gotten back into it for work.
I'm like that with Pokemon. Pokemon
still
happened right
never
after,
read
and now my kids
Well,
are
and now
upset.
you have sons, so now you're
Yes,
all
exactly.
No choice. So you have Princess Diaries, and I would say original Devil Wears Prada, young woman, new to the world,
Yeah.
getting exposed to a lot of things, systems imposed upon that person, and saying, actually, what you need is rigor. Actually, what you need is to be less dynamic. You have to keep it tight. And then the character's arc through going to that place and then also finding the softness on the other side once you hit the peak. And then maybe in the other direction, Mother Mary, I find the intern quite charming, of a very stitched together character who needs to learn to be unstitched together or to find that softness or uncertainty within. That dynamic, you do seem drawn to it, and I wonder if that registers for you at all.
So funny enough, what's registering for me hearing this, and that's a very astute assessment of all of those characters. And maybe I'm thinking about it now because it's 20 years later, and the second Devil Wears Prada is about to come out.
Sure.
But when the first Devil Wears Prada came out, it was so huge, and I had that thing that happens where suddenly you're getting sent a bunch of scripts, and you're like, oh, these are all the same character.
It's all that person.
And I just remember, and I was 24 years old, I think, and I just remember thinking to myself, that's the way you are seen. That is what you have to resist right now.
Interesting.
And so I actually chose not to
Walked away from
I actually did walk away from that because I thought if you do that, you'll have a really wonderful career for a few years.
A predictable one-note career.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing over
Yeah,
and over.
and you'll have a great time, and you'll make the movies that But I also saw that it could be a case of diminishing returns. Because I got so lucky with those two. They were such high watermarks that I thought if I make other ones and they're sort of the ersatz version of that, how am I going to feel? So I thought, okay, we're gonna press we're gonna engage the full break system.
Sure.
And you're just going to focus on directors. That's it.
So you
That's
get
it.
Brokeback. You mentioned Ang Lee.
Yeah.
You do
And
Rachel Getting Married.
Jonathan Demme.
Jonathan
And
Demme.
then here's the thing. and this is one of the reasons why I feel so drawn to David Lowery as an artist, is you realize that, like, okay, maybe my sensibility is more indie auteur, but I also want to leave the lights on. I want to respect the legacy. I don't want to confuse people. So every few years, you're like, it's probably time to do a Valentine's Day, or it's probably time to do some kind of feel-good comedy. And so for the periods of my career where I've had choice in the matter, and that hasn't been consistent. Like there's times where like you have a greater degree of maneuverability and choice and clout and power and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's times where you're like, oh, I just need to like, I need to work right now. And I need to kind of try to keep some semblance of momentum going until hopefully there'll be another moment. But we'll see, because you're an actor and you never know.
Precarious.
Yeah. So when I really went back into that type of character that you're talking about, someone that has you said it so beautifully, I can't believe I can't remember it.
Me too.
But it was something about the systems, like confronting systems.
Sort of, that sort of systems are sort of delineating what your boundaries can be, forcing you to stay tight.
So when I read the script for The Idea of You, I thought, oh my gosh, this is one of those again. This is exactly that very smart thing that you just said. And also there's a magic closet.
It's a little bit of both, actually.
Yeah.
I feel like the idea
of you is a good hybrid.
Elements of pop and indie auteur and
I got to work with Michael Showalter, who is so both of those things. And that was when I felt like I kind of stepped back and was like, okay, I'm ready for whatever comes with all of that, whatever comes with the pop, whatever comes with we really do need a global audience for this movie to be a hit.
Yeah.
If that comes with it now, I feel like I'm ready for that. Before then, I was like, I'm not ready as a person. I'm not ready as an artist. I need to develop more. Otherwise, I'm just going to get eaten alive.
In coming back to these iconic characters, Devil Wears Prada 2, Princess Diaries 3 in the works, potentially, did you have any reservations about playing the hits, as it were? Or is it the Mother Marys and the, other indie auteur collaborations you have coming up that sort of allow you to do both?
We're all on the backside of 40. Have you turned 40 yet?
Not yet.
Not yet?
I told you it's an age gap podcast. It's a real age gap.
Wait, I assume because you were writing a Substack in the 2000s. When do you wait, you were just precocious.
I'll be 38 in August.
Oh my God. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well,
I'll be 34 in October. So that's
I'm 43 and I also have gray hair. And I
Getting prematurely aged by Anne Hathaway. That's a podcast.
Really incredible. Just no notes. No notes. Please. I'll shut up now.
Keep going.
So, seeing as how two of us are on the backside of 40, and you may discover this. You may discover this whippersnapper.
Not as good as 50.
Being 5 whole years older than you. No, I just don't care anymore about that kind of stuff. Yeah. I just don't. I'm really into the joy of it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm very lucky. And also that I'm so shocked by it. I did not expect this. I kind of thought that I was in the small, weird indie section of my career. I definitely been, I've been making films like Eileen. I made a small film with one of my dearest friends, Jessica Chastain, called Mother's Instinct. Mm-hmm. And I made a wonderful Rebecca Miller movie called She Came to Me. And the thing about it's so fun to be on these press tours where people there's so much built-in awareness of your film, because on those you're like beating the drum. You're like, hey, remember me? Mm-hmm. Well, I made a new one. It's in theaters.
In a room.
It's at Angelica Film Center.
You should go to see it. It's at the IFC. And so I kind of thought that was where I was going to live. And so I'm actually pretty delighted that somebody's asked me to come back and basically do the equivalent of a stadium tour and play the hits. Right. Because
your Eras tour.
Yeah, I just was thinking the same thing.
Well, and because I went off and I did my weird thing and I followed all of those instincts, I appreciate it in a way that I couldn't have when I was so young. Actually, the artistry of the hits. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why they're beloved. They're really, really good.
And why they're durable.
Devil Wears Prada is a wonderful movie.
It's really hard to write anti-hero.
It's really hard to write blank space.
Yep.
You know, and it shouldn't get dinged because we've listened to it like several thousand times.
Right. It's also coinciding with this sort of amazing moment in your career arc in which, like, you're among the most beloved people on the internet. Like, I'm like,
No, sorry, plot twist.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But like
The memes are in your favor.
Yeah,
the memes are in your favor.
For now.
the stock is
Look,
high.
See.
It can happen.
We'll see.
It can come
It
for
could-
any
it-
of us.
Oh, I know.
Like, does that register? Like, did you register that shift? Like, are you like, oh, all of a sudden, like, huh, like,
Mother's back.
yeah, mother's back. Like,
I love that. I do appreciate the mother thing.
have you allowed yourself to feel the good side, having been on the other side of it
I
at
don't know
various moments?
what you're referring to. I think that I'm relieved that I don't have to deal with the bad side for now. But I do think that what both have taught me is it's probably best to have a certain level of detachment from all of that.
Right.
And just like I said, appreciate it when it's good because it just means that you don't have bombs going off. But understand that like it's a thing. It can change. Who knows? But for now, it's nice. When it's good, it brings a greater degree of peace to what you do.
Has it made you a sort of not unwilling, but unintended mentor when other people are going through internet drama? Do you kind of like put an arm around them and say, been there,
I'm just trying
here's how it's going to go, here's how you're going to get out the other side?
not necessarily specifically about internet drama, but I just think being a wizened 43-year-old, you'll get there.
Someday.
Sorry.
It's gonna be a while. I'm good.
Oh, but you're going to have the most epic birthday party.
He doesn't like birthday parties. I'm going to throw him a surprise one.
That's what I'm
an
actually
obviously.
like intuiting all of
We're
this.
doing
Like I'm
this.
like he's
Yeah.
going to celebrate you so beautifully. I know I've known you guys for 27 minutes,
Yeah.
but I'm calling this
No,
with
you're not
great
wrong.
Yeah,
confidence.
no, you're not wrong at all.
And you're going to just have to feel that way
Sure.
Yeah.
the whole night.
It's
I
like
haven't had a
it's like
birthday party.
like a threat. It's like I'm threatening
Yes.
him.
We were talking
by
about this
celebrating
quite
it.
When's your
recently.
birthday?
August 1st. I'm a Leo. But no, I haven't had a birthday party since I was 13.
And I have a
Okay.
birthday party every year.
You've been
Believe
saving
it or
it
not.
up.
Yeah,
so
shocking.
you've been saving it up. You cash it in, which I appreciate.
Those photos are priceless.
And when's your birthday?
It's October 12th. I'm a Libra.
Okay. I'm a Scorpio. I'm November 12th,
Mm-hmm.
but all of my other things are Libra.
It's a great place to be.
I think
It's a great
so.
place to live. I recommend it for everybody.
That
we
was
were
a really good pivot she did to talking about herself to talking about us.
Yeah, it's good.
You're a
pro.
skilled. You're a skilled conversationalist.
Well, it happened eventually, but
Have you been surprised at the level to which Anna Wintour and Vogue are embracing the Devil Wears Prada this time around, given that it wasn't really that way round one?
well, I have to give credit to Anna. Round one, she got the joke immediately.
Okay.
And as soon as she saw it and saw what Meryl had did and saw what David had did, she really she was just great about it. You know, she showed up. We had a screening on the first film to benefit Dress for Success, and she showed up wearing Prada. I mean, that is like the most baller move. And as the years have kind of gone on, she and I have developed a personal relationship. She has a personal relationship. I think she has a relationship with everybody in the cast now. So it just feels like friends now. which is
I also
great.
think it speaks to, it's interesting to think about the last, I want to say 10, but it's really like 5 or 6 years of the internet, where I think when I first found Joe's Tumblr, there was this sense that like the internet is a thing that exists separate from the real world. And now I think we just accept that something happened. Enthusiasm for the Devil Wears Prada on the internet actually means enthusiasm in the real world for the Devil Wears Prada.
And they're talking to each other.
And so the sort of the Vogue cover where they're sort of breaking the fourth wall and saying together, it feels like the loudest implicit acknowledgement of the absolutely destroyed border between IRL and URL.
I also think that there's something so cool about two 76-year-old grandmothers on the cover of like the most relevant, powerful fashion magazine on the planet.
The only relevant magazine. Some might
You know,
say.
like when and I think that there's a degree of that, which is there's something so unexpected, unpredictable, but really defiant about this movie. Like, like watching, I got to stand next to Meryl on this press tour that we've just done around the world, and watching Meryl like arrive at her just full bloom movie star at this stage of her life is so moving and beautiful. Watching the fans thousands of fans everywhere went, just like lose their minds for her. And knowing that she's headlining a movie that hopefully will be one of the biggest movies of the year.
Sure.
And that it's starring her, and it's about a 76-year-old. I mean, it's just like everything about it makes me very happy and hopeful. And just because I realized I didn't answer your question before about, do I kind of put an arm around people? Not necessarily about just internet things, but just young people in general. Like when I started, I was always the youngest person on set. Now I'm kind of like more of a veteran, and so I try to look out for the kids.
Sure.
And I'm just so happy that I can say to them, just outlast it.
Yeah.
Just focus on your work, just outlast it, keep your chin up.
You're still here.
You're still here. And the thing that's very important to remember about all of that noise is you can turn your phone off. And you can go for a walk in the park, and you
Can you show us?
There's a button.
Salute to you.
So we have a very special guest on Popcast today. We are going to be joined by your co-star in the film, FKA Twigs. So let's welcome Twigs to the Popcast.
Bad conversation.
All right, Twigs.
Cigarettes.
Actor, dancer, multidisciplinary autodidact, and the songwriter behind one of Mother Mary's hits, FKA Twigs. Wow. Twigs, welcome to Popcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. So you two appear together in this movie. Twigs, you play a, let's say, supernatural seer. You both do a bit of experimental dance. That's separate, but feels very much in dialogue with one another. And then you wrote a song that Anne sings as Mother Mary. How did you come to this world, and what was it like to sort of have this symbiotic relationship where you're stepping into your acting and Anne is stepping into her pop diva?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was very quick and dirty, actually. I kind of got a phone call from my agent saying David wanted me to be in the film, and I think it was literally shooting in 2 weeks. I read the script. I loved it. I love your work. I love Michaela's work. So it was a no-brainer. And so, yeah, like 2 weeks later, I was pretty much in Germany. And as soon as I arrived, the energy felt really potent, and I felt like, wow, something's really going down here. But I was able to slot right in. It just felt that there was so much focus and magic in the air.
Can you talk more about this potent energy on set? Because I'm going to assume not every film set has this particular valence.
The word that keeps coming up for me when I think about this experience was it was so poetic, and sometimes film sets can feel regimented. Yeah. You have to get the shot by this time in order to get to lunch because this is going to happen. And because we were in one location, there was such a discovery process to how we were going to shoot it. David had it in his mind. He had so many of the big pieces that were there. But so much of it, I don't know, we kind of burrowed into the work. The writing was so rich and dense, and Michaela is such a vivid and brilliant performer. So it just kept opening to us. But there is this crazy energy. I mean, the movie is about the kind of supernatural, psychospiritual connection that we have. I mean, how about the fact that you guys were reading each other's work 20 years ago?
Spooky action.
There you
real
go.
Spooky action.
There's something to that. There's some kind of magic there. And I think making a film about that magic, it started to manifest itself in all of our lives. Like before I knew that Twigs was going to be in the movie, her music became so important to informing my character's movement. I was in the dance studio listening to you for 8 hours a day, and then all of a sudden you were there, and we had this beautiful connection through our characters, and so that felt spooky.
I mean, you literally made an album called Mary Magdalene. It's very, very of a piece with what's going on in this film. Twigs, what was your relationship with Anne's work before this? Do you have a favorite Anne Hathaway role or
Are
film?
you a Secret Princess Diaries fan?
I mean, I think obviously you started so young. So, you know, for me, you're an icon. Like, I grew up on you. I grew up on your movies. I grew up watching you. And for me, when I think of your generation of stars and talents, it has such allure and such mystery, and such, like, focus around the craft. Like, seeing your work in, like, Les Mis, and you did, like, an amazing film with, it's, like, about a spaceship.
Interstellar?
Yeah, Interstellar. And, like, your role in that was so beautiful. And so, yeah, I just have always thought that you're a huge talent and so chic, and have kept everything very snatched. I know that...
Coming from you. No, I was sitting here on this, like for you to say that, I'm like, well, then you're the icon's icon.
well, you know, I know it doesn't always feel like that when you're on the inside of it, but from the outside, it feels, like, pretty flawless.
Well, thank you, Twigs. Gosh, my confidence is through the roof right now.
Great time to talk about dance and motion. Obviously, Twigs, dance and movement is central to what you do outside of this film. And there is movement in this film, for sure.
Yeah.
Were you guys present for each other's big movement sequences?
No. Well, you were present for mine.
Yes,
Yes.
I was present for yours. And I was very excited to go to work that day and watch Twigs be possessed by a spirit.
Yeah, talk about the influence from your quiver of moves that you were bringing to this choreography for this film, because I do feel like, and your big dance in the film is related in terms of the possession of it.
Yes.
I think this would be a great time to shout out Danny Vitale.
Yeah, tell us about Danny, the choreographer on this.
Well, I think in my section, it wasn't really so much like choreography. It was more like a pathway and a feeling. And I worked with Danny, and David came in as well, just like the day before. I mean, like I said, my experience is very quick and dirty. I kind of came in. We went in the studio for about half an hour and sort of mapped some stuff out. But actually, there's another part of my dance training, and it's like crumping. So when I was like very young, we're talking like 19, 20, I was in like a dance crew called Wet Wipes, like one of the baby members. And crumping, for me, it's about telling a story. And there are these moves, like there's stomps and you buck, and it's like this story and the way the energy flows through your body. So coming back to Mother Mary, I used like the crump stomp to like start the spirit. So I was really like trying to think of like the way that your body can show, I guess, something aggressive but very emotional, and then that can become very fragile.
It's all about that juxtaposition.
Yeah, and it's like that's like sometimes I just have these like different movement studies in my head, and then I'll call upon them for the character, you know. So I don't know why, but for Imogen, like it was crump. It was like this feeling of this aggression, because for me the character was not even personifying spirit. It was the personification of sadness, but a particular sadness of when you've hurt somebody. It's like this sorrow and this pain, but this regret, and hurting because you think you're bad.
The level of craft on this, as you've said, is so high in this small cast. What did you see in Twigs as an actress, as opposed to as a dancer and as a performer?
I was just amazed by your range. And you have the thing that you can't teach, which is fearlessness. It's really something to come onto a set where everybody knows each other, and to have to begin with a scene that really, where you're so much of the driving energy of. You really have to have like I said, a fearlessness to it. And I also just loved how prepared you were. You know, when you said, I hope it's okay to mention this, that you mentioned you had worked with an acting coach coming in, I was just like, not that I have like an idea of how someone in your position would behave, but I just loved the humility of not just wanting to show up and just be like, yeah, whatever I do is going to be great, but you actually wanted to focus on the craft of it and the art of it. And that was really, really impressive to me.
The last thing we wanted to get from the two of you is a little bit of talk about My Mouth is Lonely for You, the Twigs song from the film, sung by Anne Hathaway as Mother Mary. How did that come to work for this movie? Is that something you'd been working on previously, or was it written with Anne in mind?
Yeah, it was a song that I had. I went to Big Sur when I was finishing Eusexua, and My Mouth is Lonely for You was a song from that time, and I really loved it. But sometimes things aren't for me, and I didn't know why it was. But it's something I'd always come back to, and I loved the concept of the song, of putting all these things that aren't good in your mouth, like cigarettes and bad words and...
Bad conversations, cigarettes, words you told me, empty threats.
You know, the things that you fill your mouth with actually when you miss somebody. So, yeah, David was like, I need some songs, like I'm kind of working on this thing, and I sent him a few bits, and he just really loved that one, and I was like, okay, have it.
And Anne, how is it different to sing a Twig song versus a Charli XCX song?
Well, first of all, I have to say I got married in Big Sur.
Oh, wow.
So fun,
Gorgeous.
spooky action. How it's you know, the songs themselves were very different. I found that with Twigs, I mean, the thing about it is I had to be Mother Mary for both of them, so I was kind of focused on like how I could make them similar. But with your song, it was so much fun figuring out which words got like bum bum ba bum 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 bum, you know, like kind of like, and the kind of like the relationship between the punch and the flow. And then the back half, which did not make it into the final production, I didn't realize like they do a password like just do things that you come up with. And the first time I recorded it, I had no idea what they meant, and so I was like, yeah.
Ooh, put your hands up.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait. There's a technical term for it.
That's like backing vocals.
Yeah.
And now I know BVs are fun. But the thing, and the reason that I wanted to bring it up now is just to be like, your music is so fun. Like it was, you know, obviously intimidating to hear you do the demo, and because you're like such a gorgeous vocalist, and there's just nobody who has your voice except for you. And so I was like, it's intimidating to be like, how can I make this Mother Mary's? But then when it opened it up and just into the music, I was so happy because getting to just be completely immersed in the music that you wrote and getting to play with it was truly one of the most fun times that I had in the studio.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I think I've worked with this amazing choreographer recently. Her name's Sharon Ayel, and her work is on like mostly trained dancers, and their releve is so high, and like all these dancers have like sway legs, so they've got really straight legs and really high releve. And I worked with her, and I went in and I was like stressing out so much because I was like, I don't have that. And she said to me, she was like, you might not have all the perfect technique, but you have total feeling. And that's how I felt like watching you doing the dance routine in Mother Mary, and that's how I feel when like you sing the songs. It's like, because it's total feeling.
That's all I had to offer.
Yeah, so I hope that
Thank
like,
you. That means so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Twigs, thank you
Yes.
so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us
Thank
today. We're going to come back with a few more minutes with Anne. All right, we are back with Anne Hathaway, and we can't let you leave before you hit a couple questions in the Popcast lightning round.
All right.
And then we eat a snack. First, you will draw a card from our deck.
Okay.
Each card corresponds to a pre-written question. Some are fun, some are deep, some are both. So take your pick.
Hopefully none or neither.
Okay. I got the 8 of diamonds.
All right. 8 of diamonds. This is actually, it's a good question. What is your weekly screen time on your phone?
My weekly?
Or daily?
Daily is like 3 hours, 40 minutes.
Pretty good.
That's actually
Is that
not
okay?
bad. That's not, I mean,
That
mine,
seems very healthy.
I mean, mine is
Okay.
like 9 hours.
I like that you knew also. off the
Yeah,
top of
yeah.
No,
your
I
head.
haven't looked in a while, but like, you know, and also like it kind of fluctuates. Like when I'm on set, it's less.
Sure.
But I like that. Yeah, I'm not always there when it pops up, but when I do, I think like there's the 3 is If it's higher than that, I think then I get like a little like, what did I do? Like, I'm only awake for this many hours a day and I have children. What am I up to?
Traumatic to have a number as high as mine. But yeah.
Pull another card.
Sorry.
going.
No,
Go.
I was going to say, I know somebody who has higher.
Great.
So you're not.
The two of us can go to therapy together.
Pull another card.
All right. 10 of. Oh, I never know what this one's called. Are these
Spades.
clubs?
Those are spades.
This is the main
This is-
takeaway from doing this. Is that
I am
celebrities
startled. Does
don't
nobody
know
play cards
No,
anymore?
no. The ones that play are like
Degenerate
professional
gamblers?
They're
Gamblers?
professional poker players.
Yeah.
But I know the diamonds and I know the hearts, obviously.
Yes.
So this
Those
is
are
Then
spades.
then it's clubs and spades.
Clubs and spades.
so
Those
the
are
club
spades.
is the clover.
Yes.
Correct.
Which
A
okay.
spade looks like the gardening
Like a
tool.
gardening tool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 10 of spades. This is actually
I'm
kind
just
of.
trying to remember that now. I'm like, that's a good one. Gardening
It's
tool.
truly you're not the first person to have had that specific trip up. Shocking to us. This is a little Proust questionnaire, dare I say?
Oh.
Which of your senses would you choose to live without?
Which of my sentences?
Senses.
Senses. Oh, I thought it was like sentences. I'm
No,
like,
but I'm also curious about which sentences you'd like to
All of them.
yeet out into
I
the
gotta.
space.
I have to be honest. I do love Proustian questionnaires, and this one stresses me out. Like
Okay.
this is a stressful question. I think because what I do for a living, like I live by my
need all of
senses.
them.
If I lost taste, would I be able to retain smell? Would it be impacted at all?
Yes.
I think losing your smell would impact your taste, but I think losing your taste would not impact your smell. I don't know.
It would
really-
be. It would be devastating, but I would lose taste.
Yeah.
So you would do without food before you would do without perfume. Say, I know you're on those perfume Reddits.
I would. It's just because I'm a mom. Like the smell of my children. You know, when my oldest was born, I have this very, very distinct core memory of like that magic baby smell, and
Sure.
it really truly I remember thinking, oh, this is heaven. And I'm not a great cook. So maybe if I was more talented in the kitchen, I would feel differently about that. I would truly miss the pleasure of eating wonderful food. But the truth is that like I'm coming off of 3 years of being Mother Mary where I had to restrict my eating. So like I already kind of do that when I need to for work. So I know I can live without it. I would be so sad if I lost my sight. I would be. This is maybe too much information.
No, it doesn't exist.
I was half blind for 10 years,
Which 10?
30 to 40.
How does that happen, and then how does it go away?
I had an early onset cataract.
Really?
And it affected it impacted my vision so much that I was basically legally blind out of my left eye, and I wound up getting surgery, and I hadn't realized how bad it had gotten until I could finally see like the full spectrum, and I've calmed down since then. I didn't realize it was actually taxing my nervous system.
Sounds like it would.
It did. Maybe it wouldn't for everybody, but
Sure.
it definitely
Well,
did
you're
for
sort of
me.
in this constant
Did I just?
state of
Was that a
inf-
TMI?
I know it was a really good TMI.
Okay.
No, so truly.
Did
no such
you
thing.
break news on Popcast
I
here?
might have just done that. I usually keep that. So anyway, sorry, you're ready for me to move
No,
on to the
no,
next
no.
question?
Look, we would love you to stay as long as
Okay, so
possible.
all I'm
You're
gonna
a
say
busy
is
woman.
I love touch. I appreciate vision because I literally feel like every day I wake up and I get to see the way that I do. It's a miracle.
Sure.
Like I actually am like, oh, 2 generations back that wouldn't have been an option for
Impossible.
someone like me. So like I actually do feel very connected to that kind of a miracle.
All right, pull one more.
Okay. This one looks promising.
You've kind of gotten off easy. These have been easy questions. There
Okay,
are
well,
hard
let's see
questions.
if it continues. 5 of diamonds. See?
Yeah, this is easy.
See?
This is easy. None of you dodged. You rolled in between them.
What's the toughest question?
You want to just skip right to the toughest question?
I want to do both.
All right, you
I want
wanna
to
do
know the easy one, and then I do want to.
All right, the 5 of diamonds is whose social media page do you spend too much time on?
I am not on social media,
See,
Moving on.
but the answer would be my own.
Good answer.
okay, there are a handful of, I would say, tough questions, but
Okay.
my eyes are falling on this one. And I think that
He's going to reveal a lot about himself by what he
Good
chooses
point.
as the toughest question.
first of all journalism is autobiography. All criticism is autobiography. Kids remember that. What kind of first impression do you think you make?
That's an excellent question.
We did right then.
I think that there's been growth in that respect, because I think that I used to be a very fear-based person, and I think that when I used to meet people, I probably projected a sense of awkwardness. And something's happened. So sorry to keep doing this to you,
I'm
but
in.
something happened when I turned 40, and
You gotta let him know what he's in for.
and I
I
just
look forward to all of this.
I just realized I was living my life like it was a dress rehearsal, and that actually it was showtime, and I just kind of like outgrew my awkwardness like that, because I was no longer interested in that feeling. I'm like, okay, babe, we have explored this. We have literally. I don't know that anybody's ever had an awkward phase that's lasted quite this long. Just not to like sound cheesy, but just like rejoice in the person before you.
Yeah.
Like I use the word miracle a lot, but like it's so crazy that we're here. It's such a gift, and so like just focus on them. Just focus on the pleasure of meeting a new person, and it just so it opened up. So I don't know. I think I present like a chill, friendly vibe now.
But not always. But you've evolved.
No. I mean, this is like in the last like handful of years.
Got it.
That's happened. I used to kind of I had an overcharged electric fence protection system, and I'm not so interested in that anymore. So I've done a lot of work to dismantle that, or to keep it in the back for like more appropriate interactions.
Every episode of Popcast, we eat a snack. We rate it 1 through 10. Joe, what do we have?
Anne Hathaway picked probably the greatest snack on the table, the original bag of mermaid poo.
What's the origin of this?
I have no idea where
I
it
love
came
that it's
from.
the original. Like it's not that knockoff mermaid
no,
poo.
Like
definitely
TM,
not a
you
dupe.
know, the original bag of poo, TM. This
No
is
dupes.
blueberry
We're in
flavored
the shit
cotton
now, my
candy
friends.
Yes.
mermaid poo. We're gonna take a bite. We're gonna rank it out of 10. While we
Okay.
do, you're gonna tell me your hopes for the Knicks these playoffs.
Oh, wow.
The way my stomach just did a flip flop because my hopes are high. I love our guys. So I just hope that they remember who they are, and that they play as their finest selves, because when they do that, they are unbeatable.
And you will catch OG Anunoby if he falls.
Always. I've got you, OG. And also, I hope that I get to go to a game. I was out of town for the entirety of the last playoff, so it would be very cool to get to go to a game.
This is cotton candy.
It's kind of
The smell was promising, but I just
It's cotton candy.
Ooh, hold on, no, it goes
it's
weird.
melting.
Speaking of
in
the
a-
Knicks game,
It
has
melts
a
weird.
It has a charred aftertaste on the
yes,
melt.
100%.
you guys are crazy. It's cotton candy's cotton candy. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 opening, but
Yeah.
then like it goes to a 4.
Wow.
I gotta be honest. I'm right there with you. It's
Yeah.
a 5. It's fine, but there is
You've
a
had better cotton candy.
there's a
Yeah.
kick, there's a bizarre kick that should not be
I
there.
100%. And maybe
That's the poo.
Maybe that's what keeps it honest.
That's
I was
the
just
poo.
going to say it
That's
knows what
the
it
poo.
is. Maybe we're wanting it to be something. It told us. It's trademarked.
Who among us doesn't want to be something that sometimes we're not? Real talk. Anne Hathaway, what a joy to have you on Popcast.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Joy
you
to
for
be
being
here.
here. Thank you for being game. Thanks to FKA Twigs for being here. Every episode of Popcast is at youtube.com/Popcast, nytimes.com/Popcast. Subscribe, like. We're on Instagram, TikTok. We're on your parents' phones. Go find us. We will be back next week.
Thanks, fellas.
Are you fans of any of the musicians on the wall? One of our best interviews.
A few years ago, I was invited to go to like a career retrospective of Penelope Cruz at MoMA. And Penelope, when I saw her later, she was like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like,
who invited
I
you?
love you. That's why I'm here. But Rosalia was one of the people who presented to her. And she got up there and she was like, Penelope, do you remember when we were on this film and we sat around and we told stories? And do you remember when we did this? And do you remember when we would sing that song? And then she started to sing and the entire room just went, what?
You're
And
like,
just
"Who
pin
is
drop, time stopped, all of it. And then she stopped and she goes, do you remember that?